Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be doing a reorganization and a mini declutter of my blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and cream products for your face. I did a declutter just a couple months ago of this drawer, so I don't think that I'm going to be decluttering too much. It's mostly going to be reorganizing and reassessing what I have in my collection. And it does look like a lot, but a lot of it is like I have 4 of the Cover FX blushes, 4 of the Wet n Wild highlighters. So I think I'll be able to like explain to you guys how I feel about pretty much everything, since I have repeats of so many products. I just have like the same product in like 7 different shades. So we're gonna go through all of that. I had a really good time reorganizing my foundation drawer. I just love this so much. It makes me so happy. I will link that video below if you guys want to see how I reorganized and decluttered my foundations, primers, concealers, everything like that. So it makes me really happy every time I open this, and I feel like now I can like have more respect and appreciation for the products in my collection, the products I spent money on, the products I was gifted, and not have them just look like I don't care about them, you know? Like, I want to respect the work and effort I put into getting this in my life and not just have it a mess all over the place. So that's kind of like the premise of this declutter. It's going to be more of a reorganization, reassessing how I feel about the products in my collection, and just going through all the products, give you guys a rundown of everything. Now getting into everything in here, which is just a mess. I really want to reorganize and separate everything by blushes, bronzers, highlighters, everything like that. So first of all, in here we just have a random assortment of products. This is brand new. I just got this in my Ipsy bag like a day ago. First of all, I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this bronzer from Makeup Geek. It's pretty old. It's the shade Sunkissed. I've had it for a couple years and I don't see myself using it anymore. I liked it for a while, but right now I definitely prefer more shimmery or bronzers that have a sheen and not so many matte bronzers. So I'm gonna declutter this one. And with the products I'm decluttering, a lot I can either donate, pass along to a friend, but if it's like 2 or 3 years old, I'll end up having to toss it. But most of these are actually fairly new in my collection that I could pass along to somebody else. This is from the Wet n Wild Crystal Collection. This is Brightening Rocks. I'm not gonna use that. Yeah, I'm just not gonna use that at all. So I'm definitely not hanging on to this. Wet n Wild makes some amazing highlighters, but this is not one of them. Next up, we have this highlighter from the brand Estate. This is in the shade Do Me, and I'm never ever gonna wear this. This is not like my favorite kind of shade for my complexion. I'm just like not excited about this. I definitely have some other icy highlights that I prefer, but there's actually another one that I don't really care for. This one is from ColourPop. This is a Super Shock highlighter in Stole the Show. It's just like a very icy, pretty much white pearl cream highlighter. I have a few other products like this that I'll show you guys. Actually, like this one from Physicians Formula, I'd rather keep because I like the formula a bit more than this one. So this one I'm going to be tossing. All right, so next up we have some more ColourPop highlighters from the Becky G collection. I am obsessed with Becky G. This one's in the shade Chisme. This one's my favorite because it's like a goldish shade. This one is in the shade Princesa. This is more of like a pearly, kind of icy shade. I don't like this shade too much, but I love Becky G so much that I'm keeping it. And that is really the only reason I'm keeping it as like a collector's item. There's nothing that I don't like. This isn't my favorite shade, but the formula is still awesome. Okay, so this is my Mary Luminizer. This is my first ever highlighter. I've always kept it for nostalgic reasons. Like literally, this is the first ever little baby highlighter I've ever owned that I got in a Birchbox back in like 2013. But I don't feel like emotional looking at it or anything. There's certain products that I do feel emotional about, and I will show you guys that. But like I really don't have a lot of feeling left for this, and it's 5 years old. I'm never ever gonna use it, so there's no point in hanging on to it. This is Ofra Blissful. Honestly, I can pass this along. I feel like I've used this to the full extent that I'm gonna use it. I'm not excited about this highlight anymore. I get so obsessed and excited about Ofra Rodeo Drive. And these like pinky toned highlighters aren't necessarily like my favorite at the moment, and they haven't been like this whole year, so I am gonna pass this one along. Next up we have some highlights from Jouer. This is in the shade Citrine. This is kind of like a champagne goldish shade. I don't wear this shade enough. I think I just forget about it because they're the products that I really actually like a lot, but they're not my absolute favorite, so I forget about them. And this is one of those products, so this is why I like to do declutters like this, because I forget about some of the products that I actually really like in my collection. So hanging on to this one. And then Topaz is actually one of my favorite highlighters. This was like my holy grail highlight for a long time. I can't open anything because like I broke off like all of my nails yesterday because I just did, but obviously I'm keeping Topaz. This is one of those things I should try to completely use up by the end of the year. I should have no issue doing that because it's halfway all the way gone anyways. This is my favorite Jouer highlight, one of my favorites in my collection for sure, obviously. So keeping that. And then this is from Cover FX. This is in the shade Sunkissed Bronze. I love this. This is a bronzer. It's super powdery. It's such a mess because it's such a creamy formula. I love these duos so much because the matte side is like so pigmented, creamy. It goes on very smooth on your face. It looks very natural on your face. And then the shimmer side, I love mixing these together so it gives you like a little bit more of a sheen and more of like a more dimension to your face and not just like a matte bronzer. So absolutely love this shade so much. Amazing, amazing formula. All right, so that is all I'm keeping from this bin. I'm gonna move this aside so we can kind of just see everything and then reorganize at the end. We have this Too Faced bronzer. This is brand new. I just got this at the Sephora sale. This is the Natural Luxe bronzer. This is actually a little bit of like a reddish tone, more neutral compared to like the Sweet Tea bronzer or the Chocolate Gold bronzer. I love that it has like the highlight in there. If you want to make it less dark or intense, you could just add some of the highlight shade. It also smells like coconut and it is huge and I love it. So definitely keeping this. I bought it because I really wanted this. I love Too Faced bronzers. It's a little bit less shimmery than like Sweet Tea and Chocolate Gold, but it still has a satin finish to it. Next up, I'm gonna keep Hula Caramel for now. I don't know if I'll keep it for more than a few months because it is a matte bronzer, and I'm gonna see if one of my friends, I can think of somebody who this would flatter their complexion better than mine. So I'm gonna pass this along because it's still pretty new. And then we have some more Cover FX palettes. What shades are these? This one is Sweet Mulberry. I'm not really even sure. Ooh, this one is so dark. I am definitely going to pass this along or donate this one because it's not gonna work on my complexion whatsoever, so there's no reason for me to keep it. It's still super new and super great condition. Very deep blush for sure. And then this one is in the shade Suntan Bronze. Honestly, I can declutter this one and give it to somebody else because Sunkissed Bronze just works way better for my complexion, and I can see myself using up that product, and I can't see myself making a dent in this one just because it's not the best for my complexion. So I've actually already decluttered more than I thought I would in this whole video, but I'm just like in the mood to really use up the products I love and not just have things in my collection to have them. Then we have, these are brand new. All of these are from a little kit that I got from Physicians Formula. I'm keeping every single one of them. I actually just like opened them a few days ago. I really like all these products from Physicians Formula. I haven't specifically used these, but I love the butter products from them. Love the blushes, and that's why I got rid of the other ColourPop highlighter because I wanted, oh my gosh, I have no nails. I'm just getting used to it. I wanted to keep this one from Physicians Formula instead. I find that the Physicians Formula butter highlighters are my favorite cream highlighter product. Other ones can be like too streaky on your face, where this looks like a cream to powder finish. It's really easy to blend out with your fingertips or a brush. And even though I don't really wear the icy shades, like it's still a formula that I love, so I wanted to hang on to this. The blush is super cute. Like this is just part of like a little summer collection. Definitely a blush shade that I would wear for pretty much year round. Same thing with this bronzer specifically. I have actually used this one a little bit, and this one has more of like a satin finish to it. I might actually declutter my old butter bronzer back there, but I'm hanging on to this little trio. Maybelline Master Chrome. This is so good. Oh my gosh. amazing, speechless. This, like, the fact that I'm still excited looking at this, and I've had it for 2 years, just says that I love it and I'm gonna keep it and I'm gonna use it, or I'm gonna keep it until I use it all the way up. And I have to swatch it because it is so satisfying to swatch this and just see that pigmentation and how creamy and amazing it is. It's only like 10 bucks, and I get so much more excited about this highlight than some of my $40 highlighters, because this formula from Maybelline is so awesome. One of the best, if not the best, formula from the drugstore, Molten Gold. Every time I look at the name, I always say moldy gold. But it's Molten Gold. It's not moldy. Hopefully I use the whole thing up before it gets moldy. But this is my favorite gold highlighter, and I don't even like gold highlighter, and this is the best one. Honestly, this is one of my favorites. All right, moving into this pile over here. So first of all, we have Milani Luminoso. I just had this on my vanity. I had to throw it back in here. I'm actually gonna use this whole thing up for sure. I don't know if you can tell, but this has like a little bit of a dent in it, because I've used, this actually used to be like circular like this, because I've used so much of it up. This is the blush I could wear every single day for the rest of my life. Like, I've had this for so long. It's super affordable, but I still get excited every time I put it on my face. Amazing, amazing peachy blush. It was so hyped up for such a great reason. Like, I don't think it's overhyped. Gold Rush from, oh my gosh, this almost died. Okay, Gold Rush from Benefit. Another one that's very similar to Milani Luminoso, but a little bit more gold and less of a peach finish. This is my favorite Benefit blush. It's amazing. I can see myself using this whole thing up for sure as well. I get excited every time I put it on my face. It smells beachy, summery, so good. If you ever want to try any of the blushes from Benefit, this one and Rocket Shore are my favorite, and this is like my favorite year round. It just gives you such a nice glowy finish. This is so Hollywood. I actually got this just a few months ago from Anastasia. Look how beautiful that is. So good. This is an amazing, what's it called? Loose highlighter. I was gonna call it a liquid highlighter. It's an amazing loose highlighter. It's so beautiful, so pigmented, not chunky. It gives you almost like a wet highlight look, which I absolutely love, because nobody wants a chunky, textury highlight look. But I love this, like, very, like you just stepped out of like the Little Mermaid sunlight, you know, like very summery, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Gorgeous, gorgeous highlight, gorgeous formula. I know they have a couple different shades, but this was the one that spoke to me. Don't regret it whatsoever. So good. All right, so this is a confession. You know how I said that Benefit Rocket Shore is one of my favorite blushes? I have such a mess going on here that I didn't even know that I owned this. I didn't even know that I owned one of my favorite things. Like, that is so messed up of me. Like, I feel really embarrassed about that, because I don't want that to be the case ever. I actually have it in another Benefit face palette, but I'm mad at myself that I didn't even know that I own one of my favorite blushes. What? Like, we need to make sure we take inventory of, by we I mean me. I need to make sure I take inventory of my products all the time, because I honestly, like, I'm sure I knew at some point, but for at least the last couple months, I forgot that I actually own a full size of one of my favorite blushes of all time. So I feel like I'm mad at myself. I'm embarrassed. But yeah, this is like fall. Come fall time, I can wear this on my face every single day. Like, this is my summer mood. Like, spring and summer in a box, and fall and winter in a box. Oh my gosh, they're the best. Check them out. So amazing. I'm mad at myself that I didn't realize that. Okay, so another absolute favorite. Like, I look at this and I get so happy, and that's just all I need in my life. This is Persona Zuma. And let me tell you, I would have already completely used this up, but I forced myself to not use it every single day because I don't want to use it up. I realize it's only like 20 bucks. It's not a big deal, but I just love it so much. Obviously, this is just like Jouer Topaz. Like, this is a highlighter I could put on my face every day for the rest of the time. It's so good, so pigmented, so creamy, really buttery, goes with everything. It's a champagne kind of color. It looks a little bit more gold in the pan, but it's more so like a champagne-y tone that you can wear blue eyeshadow, you could wear silver eyeshadow, you could wear like a burgundy lip, a pink lip. amazing. One of the best things in this drawer. I was gonna say in the world. That's a little dramatic, but at least in this drawer, this is one of the best. All right, so we have some more Cover FX going on in here. I have so many Cover FX products. I did actually pass along a few after I reviewed them. Some of the shades I knew I wasn't gonna keep, I gave to a friend, and I'm gonna give her a few more. This one, oh, Soft Peach. We're not getting rid of this. This is the best one. I could wear this every day as well. Like, this one is my jam for sure. Peachy, I mix it with this. It looks gorgeous, super pigmented. I like putting on too much blush with this blush because it just gives you like such a peachy kind of monochromatic look whenever I do like a light eye look, a peachy gloss, and pile this on my face. I just love that. It makes me so happy. This is a mood right here. Soft Peach by Cover FX. It's a great mood. This one, Warm Honey. Is this one the one I like? This one I like as well. Yeah, this is the other one that I think is my second favorite. This is gonna be my mood for fall and winter, basically. This is more of that like brick tone, really, really pretty. I've worn it a bit and it's a little too intense for this time of year. So I think this is gonna be my go-to come September, October for sure. Except this is an older blush. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. This is from the brand Collab at Sally's. I've had this for a while actually. This is the Sheer Blush and Sweet Surprise. It's one of those shades that I really love, like that nude blush shade. But you guys can see, like, I have a lot of shades like that in my collection and formulas that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one along. Next up, I might get rid of this. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. This is an e.l.f. highlighter, but the formula is a little weird to me. This is a 24 karat gold highlighter. This is a formula that came out just in the past 6 months, and I purchased it at the e.l.f. store. I did like a huge e.l.f. haul. It's like a little drier for some reason. Like you can see, like it's gonna take me a little bit to build up compared to some of those other highlights that just look like a streak of pure shimmer. It's just a little too not enough for me. Like I have enough products that I'm obsessed with, and this is just okay, and we're not about that life right now, so I can pass this along. It's still super, super new. Next up, we have another highlighter from e.l.f. This is their Glow Highlighter in Taupe. I don't know why it's called Taupe when it's a little bit more of like a rose gold shade. This is one of their glow highlighters that came out earlier this year as well. I haven't worn this enough, but I like it. I just need to start wearing it more. It's a little bit deep. You can see it's like a little bit more bronzy, and I think that's part of why I haven't worn it a lot. It's a bit deeper than some other cream highlighters that I like to wear, but I do like the formula, so I'm definitely keeping this one. I might want to pick up another one that's like a bit lighter, but honestly, like I don't need any more cream highlighters right now. But just know this formula is good. I just haven't been wearing it because it's like a little deep for my complexion, but I need to find a way to make that one work because I actually do like the formula. Next up, this is a little highlighter from IBY Beauty. This is in the shade Radiant Glow. I got this in an Ipsy a couple months ago. This is actually like a really pretty formula. It is very pigmented. It's not the highlighter that excites me the most in my collection, but I'm definitely gonna hang on to it because it's a really good formula, honestly, and this is like the only product I have from IBY Beauty, so I'm gonna hang on to this. So next up, this is one of the Love Flush blushes from Too Faced. Do they even make these anymore? I got this about this time 5 years ago. 2015 is when I got this. I think that's around when it came out. Baby love. I honestly don't even know if they make this anymore. You can see the formula has like hardened in the pan, so it's not as soft as it used to be, but this is one of those things that I need to keep for sentimental reasons. I bought this like the day before I got engaged. I bought it on my first time I ever came to California. Still a sentimental product, still has a story behind it. That is why I am hanging on to it. I honestly, like, I don't even own like any childhood photos of mine. I don't own my yearbook. I don't know where my birth certificate is. I don't know where my diploma is. I hope my mom has all those things because these are the sentimental products that I have in my life. My parents moved to another country and they packed up all my childhood things, and I hope they still have them. So if you're wondering why I'm like emotionally attached to my makeup, it's because that's just what I have to be attached to. I don't have any like childhood blankets or baby dolls or anything, so we're gonna be attached to this blush. All right, and then lastly in this little section, we have this blush from Buxom. This is part of like one of their newer collections. This is their Wanderlust Primer Infused Blush. This is in the shade Seychelles. This is another product that it's matte, but it's amazing, and I love this formula so much because it's so creamy. It almost looks like a cream formula on your face because it just makes your skin look so healthy and glowy. It doesn't look powdery at all. It stays in place all day. It's super creamy. Love this formula so much. Definitely check it out if you guys want a really long wearing blush that really like sticks onto your skin and looks great. Check that one out. Next up, these are new from Charlotte Tilbury. I need to use these more, and I think having decluttered so many products already and just reorganizing the products in my collection, I could focus on these more. This one is my favorite. I don't think I'm gonna end up keeping this one long term, Pinkgasm, because it's like it's just too pink for me. Like look at that shade. It's a little too dark for me. I think when it comes to cream products, I like to stick to very neutral, light, and peachy shades. I feel like they're easy to blend out, more forgiving if they if you don't blend them out perfectly. Like this shade is called Peachgasm. This is like a golden peach shade, super beautiful. This is a really, really pretty shade. So this one is my favorite if you guys are interested in those. And then the highlighter is gold. There we go, that is the gold shade from Charlotte Tilbury. So check out the gold one, Peachgasm. Honestly, if you like pink, check this one out. But I just think with liquid highlighters and liquid products, the more neutrally shades, the better for blending. All right, so then we have this from Dose of Colors. This is part of a Desi and Katie collab from 2 years ago or so. Only reason I keep this in my collection, mírame, is because it's in Spanish. I don't use it. I should pass this along. It's just taking up room in my collection. It's one of those things like I have to force myself to use. I used to love this so much, but now there's like 7 to 15 other highlighters in my collection that I love more than this. So I don't need to keep this in my collection anymore. I'm gonna pass this along, but just know like that's what always draws me in. The Spanish names makes me so happy. All right, now we have all 4 Mega Glow loose highlighters from Wet n Wild. I don't need all 4 of them. I need maybe 2 of them. Which ones are my favorite? I'm So Lit, I think is my favorite one. Yes. That champagne tone goes with everything. Super beautiful formula. Like if you like loose highlighters or you want to try loose highlighter, check this out. This is like on par with like my Anastasia, like very great quality. I'm So Lit. All right, and then I think the other one I'm gonna keep is All Glown Up. I could honestly keep all 4 of these, but it's just so much room and I'm never gonna use them all up. I could just like pass them along. This one, I love those like peachy shades that are like a little bit pink too. Like I love putting that like all over my cheeks. That like kind of pinky tone, because you can wear it almost like a blush topper and then diffuse it upwards as a highlighter. Like I could wear this all over my body as well. I haven't done that, but like I want to put this like on my legs with lotion right now. That is a gorgeous shade. I think it's like very versatile as well. This one in You Glow Girl, I think is... I don't need to keep that. This is a little bit more icy. And then Hustle and Glow, let's see. Can't even remember. I like it, but I like other things too. So let's declutter that one. I can pass that along super easily. All right, and then we have more Cover Effects. What do you know? This one is in the shade Spice Cinnamon. I think this one's gonna be too dark for me. You can see how little I've used this compared to the ones that are my favorite. Like this is not gonna suit my complexion. So there's no reason for me to keep this in my collection. I can pass that along super easily as well. Benefit Hoola, let me go ahead and hang on to this because this one I think works for my complexion more than Benefit Hoola Caramel. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this one. There's like a few matte bronzers that I will keep, and this is one of them. Except there's definitely no reason for me to keep this Mega Glow highlighter from Wet n Wild. You guys saw I kept the Icy highlighter shade from Physicians Formula. That's the only cream highlighter that I need in this kind of tone. They are a little bit different, but I already have that one. It's gonna take a while to use up, and I'm not gonna end up using this one up for sure. So decluttering that. I love this product. I have it randomly up here because I just wore it yesterday. So what I've been doing a lot lately, let me know if you guys want to see like my favorite products for like no makeup, because when I'm wearing like no makeup, it's basically a cream concealer, mascara, and this is a dewy skin product from Galactic. This is gorgeous. It goes on so beautifully. It almost feels like an oil product. It's very interesting texture, and it stays dewy like that on your face, and it just gives you like a very fresh, glowy look. So it's not necessarily like a highlighter, it's just like a face glow, face dew product. It's really interesting, and I love to wear it when I'm like wearing like no makeup. So I actually reach for this all the time from Galactic. It's like an underrated product in my collection. Definitely hang on to it. This shade is Radiance. That's the one I wear the most. So I'm gonna hang on to this e.l.f. bronzer because I haven't gotten enough use out of it. I got it just a couple months ago. It's one of the primer infused bronzers. This is pretty much like a drugstore dupe to Benefit Hoola, but I haven't worn it enough. This is in the shade Forever Sunkissed. I just forget about it in my collection, so I'm keeping it. That way I remember to use it more. This is one of the few products I have from Fenty. This is their Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal Kilowatt Highlighter. Another kind of like icy highlighter shade. I'm already decluttering a few highlighters in this kind of tone, but I'm gonna keep this one because it's Fenty, honestly, is the reason I'm keeping it. So I'm gonna hang on to this. This is another little mini Mary Luminizer from The Balm that I got in a Birchbox or Ipsy or something years ago. I'm going to declutter that one as well. I'm gonna get rid of my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula just because I have the butter bronzer in other face palettes in my face palette collection. This one's actually incredibly old. I think this is like my first one ever that I bought like 5 years ago. So gonna declutter this one and just keep the one that I have in some other face palettes. And then lastly, this is a Wet n Wild bronzer in Sunset Striptease. I was obsessed with this when this first came out, and then I put it away for a while. I want to see if I still am just as obsessed with it if I start using it again. Probably put it in an everyday makeup drawer this fall. I really liked the formula. This is the one that's, yeah, it definitely feels very creamy. It's a little bit more light. And I am using up right now and almost done with my Too Faced Sweet Tea bronzer, and that gives me like a very similar vibe, like shimmery, more light, one of those bronzers that could really pack on my face and it's not gonna look muddy or too heavy. So definitely keeping that. All right, so one little box left to go. Not a lot in here. So first of all, we have my Marc Jacobs Omega highlighter or bronzer. This is one of the other matte bronzers I have in my collection that I'm keeping because it's so big, so pricey, so like luxurious, and it smells like coconut. Best of all, it smells like coconut. So definitely keeping this. I don't wear this enough anymore. I used to be super obsessed with it. And I'm hoping now that I decluttered some other bronzers that were just taking up room and clutter in my collection, I can like refocus on using this, eventually hitting pan on this. It would be so satisfying to hit pan on this giant computer-sized bronzer. Like, this is amazing. It's the size of my head, and I want to use the whole thing up. Next up, I don't see myself ever using these glitter drops from Cover FX. I think I got them in like maybe a BoxyCharm a few months ago, and like, what am I supposed to do with glitter drops? I don't know what to do with this, honestly. Like, I just don't see myself pouring liquid glitter on my face. Like, I'm not at that place in life right now. So yeah, obviously I'm getting rid of it. I can't defend it. Next up, this is like one of my favorite products in my collection, and you know when it looks like such a mess, it's one of my favorites. This is the butter highlighter from Physicians Formula, and Physicians Formula is so kind, and they had sent me this as PR. It came broken, and then they just reached out on their own and sent me a replacement because they saw that I mentioned it came broken in a YouTube video once. And I'm still using the broken one just because I love it so much. This is in the shade Champagne, and this is just like, it's broken, but it doesn't mean it's like not usable. So I will literally open this like a few times a week and just put it on. So I love this. It's great. It's obviously great if I'm keeping the broken one in my collection like this. This is my favorite cream highlighter, Champagne from Physicians Formula. It is awesome. Then we also have the one in the shade Rose Gold. I don't think I use this enough, honestly. I should actually use this more because, especially right now for summer, I love those like peachy, bronzy shades. Oh my gosh, I forget how good this stuff is because it just glides onto your skin, whereas some other cream highlighters are just like really stiff and almost like you're applying a glue stick on your hand, but this just blends like no other. This is awesome. I'm speechless. This is great. I already have this. I just love rediscovering things that I love. So highly recommend the formula of Physicians Formula Butter Highlighters. I already wear the broken one, honestly, at least weekly, and I need to start wearing Rose Gold more often too. All right, so next up we have a Morphe bronzer. I honestly didn't know that I had this. I think I got this in like an Ipsy bag a few months ago. I'm not gonna hang on to it. I don't think I'm ever gonna use this up, so I'm going to pass this one along. And then I think this is another Dewy Skin. This is another Skin Glow from Galactic. Let me keep this one as well. I don't wear this one as much as the other one, but I just love these formulas, especially for summer on no makeup days, which is like half of the week for me, where I'm just doing really light and I still want something glowy on my face. This is so good. So keeping that. All right, that is our last little Birchbox. That is everything in this drawer. I'm gonna wipe this down, put everything back in, reorganize, and we'll see what we have left. All right, so I got almost done with reorganizing things, and I realized that I don't like these Birchboxes anymore. Like, I think they just look messy. And I realized that I actually have a million of these little baskets that I bought at Target. They're available at Target for like $2 in the storage section. I have it in a drawer where I just keep like random products, but I bought like 10 of them, and I can definitely just get more of them if I run out. But I have a bunch, and I think I'm gonna see if I could fit 5 in here and like redo this with my little Target basket. All right, so we can definitely fit up to 5 baskets in here. It's a little snug if I put a 5th one, and it looks like a little bit cramped. And I tried like rearranging it in a couple ways, but let's see if we can get it with 4. So one's gonna be all of my liquid and cream products. Just gonna throw them back here. Next up, some bronzers. I gotta go up here. Here are all of the blushes. Maybe I could stack them like this. Lastly, we have highlighters. Maybe I can do this with some of my loose highlights. That way we have some more room. All right, so I just moved everything around to the best place that I could where this doesn't move too much. We have a couple of little highlighters moving a little bit right there, but it's not too bad. I just like did this over and over and over until it was at a place where I just don't want to like close this and then have everything like fall over. But that to me looks so much better. It's still like a little bit not like the best thing in the world because I can get like pretty much cleaner organizers where I could do like each individual one. But to me, I think this is way better, and I could actually see everything I own versus before it was just a mess. And I like having everything on its side so I could see everything and it's not just all piled on top of each other. I do have a couple highlighters right here. Actually, I can maybe do this. Let's do that with my highlighters. Might move a little bit, but I think it's not too big of a deal like that. All right, so that's gonna be everything for this declutter and reorganization of my face products. I'm so happy about it because I know that if I wasn't gonna film it, I was never gonna do it. So I'm just glad to be able to see every product in my collection and get rid of the products I know I was never gonna use up in my collection. Let me know what declutter you guys want to see next. I'm thinking lip products. Let me know if you're interested. And yeah, that's everything for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.